Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Asian Banker Global 2023 Finance Awards ceremony. My name is Cheryl Miles, and I am your host for today. The Asian Banker Awards are among the most rigorous, prestigious, and transparent annual awards program recognizing leadership in retail financial services, technology, risk and transaction finance. And the program also acknowledges financial institutions for their vision, execution, market-leading service propositions, outstanding achievements, and best practices. To formally start today's ceremony, I would like to invite Matthew Welch, advisor of the Transaction Finance Awards Program, and also Mr. Fu Bun Ping, the president and managing editor of the Asian Banker. Gentlemen, please.
Thank you, Cheryl, for the introduction. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TAB Global 2023 Finance Awards. Matthew Welch and I are delighted to be your hosts as we recognize and celebrate the achievement of some of the world's leading financial institutions today. Today, we're honoring 13 institutions in total from across Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa, across 16 different awards. Today, we recognize your achievement in a number of important award categories, comprising TAB Global Business Achievement Awards, the world's strongest Islamic banks, global strongest banks, as well as the Wealth and Society Awards. At the Asian Banker, our journey as we transition from what we've been known for a long time, the Asian Banker, to now that we are trying to establish ourselves in, TAB Global is marked by the increasingly global scope of our research and awards program. This year, in addition to the global best digital-only banks and platforms, as well as best retail bank programs that we launched at the start of the year, we have also launched our global 1,000 rankings of the world's largest and strongest banks, including Islamic banks and financial institutions. Our commitment to excellence continues to be reflected in our independent, rigorous, and transparent award evaluation process, which we have brought down to a global level and scale. The meticulous research, extensive interviews, and detailed analysis conducted by our team of researchers and managers underpin the integrity of these awards. It's a testament to the highest standard of excellence in the banking and financial sector today. Our distinguished council advisor, comprising very experienced practitioners like Matthew Welch here, provides independent validation of our research, ensuring the rigor of our awards, and that they mirror the evolving landscape of the industry. The benchmarks and best practices set by our winners serve as invaluable guideposts steering the industry towards a future of innovation, resilience, and sustainability. In a world where integrity is paramount, let me emphasize, you cannot buy a TAP Global or an Asian Banker Awards. Our evaluation process remains steadfastly neutral, covering all players on a fair and equitable basis. We go out of our way to find and engage with the best.
And we're grateful to institutions like yours and to the industry at large who've supported our efforts to identify, track, and benchmark the best amongst you, and in the process helped us to build the richest repository of benchmarking data and best practice case studies anywhere in the world today, and to create a community, or what we like to call working groups, of exemplary institutions. Our approach of focusing on content and community has enabled us to maintain our independence and to include a diverse range of players in our program, from incumbent banks and financial institutions to fintechs, platforms, and DeFi startups. TAB Global programs like the Excellence in Retail Finance, Transaction Finance, and the Financial Technology Innovation Awards have built a strong repository of data that serves the entire industry. By introducing new categories and expanding our scope to include fintech platforms and DeFi and Web3 startups, we continuously adapt to the dynamic and evolving landscape of global finance. As we try to look out towards the banking industry's 2024 outlook, several key themes emerge, closely aligned with the criteria and focus of our research. These themes not only reflect the current and future challenges faced by the industry, but also highlight the opportunities for innovation, resilience, and sustainability. Digital transformation, technological innovation, and modernization, a preeminent theme. The rapid pace of digitalization and technological modernization is a dominant and constant theme. Banks are expected to continue to embrace technological advancements, integrating artificial intelligence, or AI, blockchain, and cloud computing into their operations. This transformation is not just about enhancing efficiency, although it will do that, but also about creating new value propositions for our customers. TAB Global Technology Innovation Awards recognize institutions at the forefront of this digital revolution, showcasing efforts in implementing transformative technologies.
Sustainable finance and ESG practices, environmental, social, and governance ESG criteria are becoming increasingly important to the industry. Banks and financial institutions are expected to integrate these factors into their operations and decision-making processes, reflecting a growing awareness of climate change and social responsibility. Sustainability has become a core criteria across all our programs. In particular, the Wealth and Society Awards highlights institutions that are not only successful in private wealth management and portfolio asset management, but also committed to sustainable and responsible practices. Financial inclusion and accessibility. There's a growing emphasis on reaching the underserved and underbanked population. Innovation in mobile banking, payment solutions, and microfinance are expected to bridge the gaps in financial services. Now more than ever, more people have access to financial services. Our award programs recognize banks and fintech platforms that excel in expanding access to financial services for this segment of the population, contributing to economic empowerment for the many and not just for the money. Cybersecurity and data protection. As digital banking and finance grow, so do the risks of cyber threats. In 2024, banks will continue to prioritize robust cybersecurity measures and data protection to maintain customer trust and also comply with regulatory requirements. TAB Global Awards acknowledge institutions that demonstrate excellence in maintaining high security and data protection standards. Regulatory compliance and risk management. The banking and finance industry is likely to face an evolving regulatory landscape, especially in areas like digital currency, cross-border payments, fintech collaboration, and generative AI, in so much as how they affect know your customer, AML, as well as ethical use of data. banks that can navigate this complexity while managing risk effectively will be at the forefront. Our risk management and regulatory awards program recognize those who excel in this challenging environment.
Customer-centric finance, the shift towards more personalized and customer-centric banking services enabled by AI and increasing use of APIs will continue. Financial institutions that leverage data analytics to understand and predict customer needs and preferences will lead the industry in hyper-personalization. This aligns with our Excellence in Retail Finance Awards that recognize institutions that excel in delivering superior customer service and innovative retail finance products. In terms of global banking and finance dynamics, the global banking and finance landscape is expected to see continued integration and collaboration, with banks expanding their reach and increasingly forming strategic partnerships. This internationalization or globalization is reflected in our global strongest bank rankings that assess banks on a worldwide scale. The industry is transitioning to a new global financial operating model. As the industry transitions, a significant theme is also the convergence of traditional financial models with the decentralized world of decentralized finance, or DeFi, digital assets, payments, and central bank digital currencies, which are known as CBDCs. This dynamic shift is reshaping the banking landscape, heralding a new era of financial operations. The blending of traditional centralized banking with the decentralized distributed nature of DeFi is prompting banks to explore new operating models. This involves leveraging blockchain technology and smart contracts to offer innovative services, a key aspect recognized in our programs for technology innovation, transaction finance, as well as the new ones for DeFi and digital assets. The integration of decentralized finance, DeFi, heightens the importance of cybersecurity and data protection. Banks must implement robust security measures tailored to this new hybrid financial environment, a focus area in our awards. As we step into the uncertainties of 2024, the focus on innovation, resilience, and sustainability will be more crucial than ever. The institutions we recognize today are not just winners, they're pioneers who've demonstrated these qualities in the face of a challenging global financial environment. From the strongest banks to the Wealth and Society awardees, each has set a high bar for excellence, contributing significantly to the stability and growth of the global economy. Wealth and Society recognizes the vital role of ultra-high net worth individuals, ultra-HINWIs, and leading wealth management institutions in creating a more meaningful and sustainable society. By focusing on the long-term relevance of wealth, they exemplify the power of financial success in the service of greater societal goals.
Navigating the regulatory landscape becomes even more complex with the integration of decentralized finance and digital assets. Our programs will spotlight banks and financial institutions that effectively manage these new regulatory challenges. The convergence of traditional and decentralized finance encourages more global integration and collaboration that we are already witnessing through many central banks and even through the Bank for International Settlements, leading some of this collaboration efforts with the private sector and the public sector through the commercial banks, financial markets and payments infrastructure providers. Our research will now assess banks and financial institutions on their adaptability and success in this evolving, interconnected world. In 2024, the banking industry will not be just adapting to change, it will be spearheading a revolutionary shift where traditional and decentralized finance model merge. This evolution is central to our research. It set the stage for assessing the achievements and innovation of financial institutions in both traditional and emerging financial landscape, what we call building the future bank. The Business Achievement Awards, encompassing the Transaction Finance, Technology Innovation, and Excellence in Retail Finance Awards, alongside the Strongest Bank and Islamic Bank's ranking, benchmark some of the most innovative and resilient financial institutions in the world. They recognize and celebrate those who have not only excelled in their respective fields, but have also shown a profound commitment to shaping a sustainable future for the industry. The rich repository of benchmarking data and best practice case studies that Matthew was talking earlier about is something that the Asian Banker and TAP Global are very keen to share with the industry. And we use platform like today's award ceremony to showcase those. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Christian Kaffer, our research director at TAP Insights, to present some of the key themes and learning from this year's awards program that explore the pivotal transformation and groundbreaking innovations that are driving the future of the banking industry or the future bank.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session, which we will share some of the insights from our global assessment programs we have been conducting in the last year. As you know, we have been assessing for more than 20 years now the industry across those 8 sectors you see on the left side here, and increasingly really take this to a global scale, such as, we introduced the global 1,000 strongest banks or the global top 100 digital banks. And we just wanted to give you a brief overview on actually the 1,000 strongest banks. But of course, we run these other assessments too. Global Excellence in Retail Finance Awards, as you know, one of the longest standing and most established assessment programs in retail finance, recognizes exceptional innovations, leadership, and performance in that sector. And it assesses not just any banks anymore, but also platforms, fintechs on a product and business level. Through a comprehensive scorecard. Then we have technology innovation implementation programs, which evaluates the successful implementation of technology projects between financial institutions and their technology partners. Transaction banking program, also very important. We engage with most of the major global and regional financial institutions on their achievements in cash management and payments, trade, supply chain, and forex. Wealth society, also a important part of important pillar in this roster, recognizes leading wealth management institutions that are committed with their clients to long-term integrity and relevance of their wealth actually to society. And that includes anything from private banks, multifamily offices, and so on, trust companies, really looking at the high net worth and the ultra high net worth segment. The one I want to focus today is really the TAP Global World's Largest and Strongest Banks ranking. Assesses the overall financial performance of the banks, and we have taken this to a global scale this year. And by the way, no other research group today is really assessing every year more than 1,500 institutions across those 8 assessment programs. Next slide, please. So we want to give you a sense of where those strongest banks actually come from, their share of total assets, and actually how big they are. And if you look at these pies here, so the global strongest banks, basically, just to give you a sense, in the initial list on that was the world's largest banks. And then we used that list and created, based on our scorecard, the strongest bank ranking, just to say that. So the ranking of the world's largest banks, the majority with 443 entities comes from Asia, as you can see on the left. And this is closely matched, at least for APAC, Europe, and North America, with a share of total assets. The world's top largest banks collectively held about, just to give you a size here, about 153 trillion in total assets. About 77 trillion in net loans, and 97 trillion in customer deposits. And altogether, these 1,000 banks, they generate a total net profit of about $1.1 trillion. Based on, there's one more on that. Based on the 2022 year-on-year growth figures, the combined asset size declined, however, by about 0.7%. Where combined net loans grew by 1.5%, combined customer deposits declined, and combined net profits declined also by about 2%. In regards to the largest banks, when you look at the very right pie chart here, there were about 37 banks, which is 4%. These 4% of these 1,000 players they exceed a total asset size of about 1 trillion. And this is comprising about 16 banks from Asia, 13 banks from Europe, and 8 banks from North America. Next slide, please. So we wanted to give you a sense of what the 10 largest banks in the world are. The Chinese banks remain the largest in the world, obviously, and ICBC China remains the world's largest bank with a total asset size of about $5.7 trillion in 2022. In general, Chinese banks have shown stronger growth than other banks among the top 10 largest here in the world, at least for 2022. So that might really change also going forward. JP Morgan, Bank of America, then following right after, saw a decline in their total assets by about 2 to 4% in 2022, respectively. And this, I think, we attribute mainly to the reduction in deposits at the financial institutions there due to the US withdrawing the monetary accommodations. Next slide, please. So when we use the largest 1,000 banks in the world, and then put it under our scorecard to achieve those strongest banks scorecard. As you can see, that's what we are looking at. And the important point is here that it is not about size, asset size, or balance sheet growth, which are rather minor or less weighted. It is really about the quality itself and the delta changes to last year, which is key in this assessment. And as you can see here, asset quality, liquidity, profitability, and the risk profile are key assessment indicators and dimensions, which are very familiar with you, so I will not go into that. And so we wanted to understand which regions are actually, and I'm coming later on to the banks, which are also very strong, but here now for the regions. So we wanted to know the strength of the banking industry by region. Just to understand this table better, I think we have color-coded the ranks here. So the darker the blue, the better the score, right, basically. Please note also that we factored in a weighted aggregated score here based on asset size of the banks. Okay, now in terms of what's coming out here, so looking here at North America, demonstrated highest overall strength, followed by Asia Pacific and the Middle East. In general, North American banks achieved superior scores in terms of scale and asset quality when compared to banks in other regions. But I think this is also partially driven by the Canadian banks, which displayed really a very high level of strength in the world, with the 6 largest Canadian banks holding positions among the top 30. So this was really driving up the North American scores here. Interestingly, for North America, and when you look at especially for the US, we think that their liquidity position is probably is the weakest among all regions, right? So we think in the US, since the global financial crisis in 2008, I think the state of prudential and systemic risk regulation remains probably less than desirable, right? The relaxation of liquidity rules and supervisory oversight of banks with less than 250 billion in assets was partially responsible for the collapse of a number of regional banks that precipitated a liquidity crisis in the US and caused almost a global contagion, which was only averted by some more timely regulatory response in Europe. Asia Pacific banks demonstrated a robust performance across most dimensions here. Also, the region could improve, we believe, further on its liquidity score. Middle Eastern banks outperformed banks in other regions in terms of profitability. They also demonstrated a strong performance on the risk profile, despite their, I think, relatively smaller size. Then on the European side, the European banks achieved a higher average score in risk profile and liquidity compared to banks in other regions. However, we think the average scores in balance sheet growth and profitability are much lower compared to peers in other regions. Banks from Africa achieved the highest average score in balance sheet growth among all regions, but average scores in scale and I think asset quality lagged behind those of banks in other regions here. Okay, then next slide, please. So we wanted to see how individual banks and some of the regions are doing on managing operational efficiencies, cost-to-income ratio. And you can see that most of the regions have improved their operational efficiencies based on CIR, and telling basically us that there's a stronger focus on demonstrating an increased sort of attention to operational efficiency. I think in particular Europe has been putting greater efforts in this too. I mean, to read the charts, horizontal axis basically is for 2022 only cost-to-income ratio, while the vertical axis we wanted to see the changes. So the upper one is basically increasing cost-to-income. The below the line here is improving cost-to-income ratios. Again, the assets are also asset weighted again. So the asset weighted average cost-to-income ratio for the world's 1,000 largest banks stood at 52%. I mean, that's a big average, but it's at that. And about 70% of those markets we were looking at reported really an improvement in average cost-to-income ratio. Banks in the Middle East registered the lowest average cost-to-income ratio at about 37%, followed by banks in the Asia Pacific and South America. Banks in Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia have the lowest cost-to-income ratios in the world, by the way, and with the average cost-to-income ratio being held by Qatari banks, which improved slightly from 23% in 2022 to about 21.5% in 2022, and this was the result, I think, of further investments in the IT infrastructure that enabled those banks to deliver even better cost-effective services to their customers. But in overall, 23%, pretty magic. In Asia Pacific, Chinese and the Vietnamese banks are the most cost efficient. In contrast, banks in Bangladesh and Japan demonstrated rather least or very low cost efficiencies, right? And then banks in North America and Europe reported higher average cost-to-income ratio at 60+% respectively. European banks, we see that despite seeing an improvement in 2022, remain really the region with the highest cost-to-income ratio, including Germany and Switzerland. Slightly worse probably than even Japan. Then next slide, please. Profitability is the next here we were looking at. So were some of the banks stand in terms of that the world's largest 1,000 banks saw a slight drop in asset weighted average ROE from about 9.9% in 2021 to about 9.8% in 2022, with the US and Denmark among those markets experiencing the sharpest decline in ROE. And in terms of regions, only North America witnessed actually a decline in average ROE for 2022, although its average ROE for those still exceeded the global average. I think the primary cause of this decline was a significant decrease in average ROE among the US banks, falling from about 13+% in 2021 to 10+% in 2022. So this was largely due to the US banks reinforcing their credit loss reserves in response through the accelerated loan growth and economic uncertainties also. Next slide, please. So then liquidity has been gaining more attention with shareholders and regulators. We basically are also assessing the top 1,000 across those three liquidity dimensions and then aggregated up on a country level. So that's basically what you're seeing here. Pakistan secured top position in the overall across all three dimensions, all three liquidity dimensions, followed closely by Ireland, Argentina, the UK, and Hong Kong. So for the average liquid assets to total deposits and borrowings ratio, which is on the left here, dropped slightly from on average about 41% in fiscal year 2022 to about 39% in fiscal year 2020. Sorry, from about 41% in fiscal year 2021 to about 39% in fiscal year 2022. Average LCR and net stable funding ratio also declined overall for the top 1,000 in 2022. In particular, banks in countries such as Mexico, Philippines, Qatar and Spain saw actually a more significant LCR fall. Yeah, so changing slightly gear here, we are taking the same assessment and scorecard on the strongest banks. We're taking that to the Islamic bank side. Islamic banking is an important element in the global 1,000 strongest bank. They are not part of that, but we are, taking the same assessment matrix to those 100 largest banks in the world, spanning about 26 countries. And then we were looking also in terms of the strengths of those banks. So just to give you a sense on size, about the 100 largest banks had about 1.6 trillion in assets, 24 billion in net profit. And that, if you compare the net profit here to the 100 largest non-Islamic banks, then you have about 24 billion on the Islamic bank side in net profit, and about 758 billion on the 100 largest non-Islamic banks. So it's about 3.2% only what Islamic banks here are making. Though there are a few Islamic banks as you can also see, there are fewer Islamic banks in the Middle East and Africa compared to Asia. Islamic banks in the Middle East hold really a dominant share, 70% share of assets when you add them all up. And that is significantly higher than the 24% held by their Asian counterparts, actually. Saudi Arabia, no surprise, held 20% of total assets, ahead of Malaysia with 17%, Iran 14%, Kuwait, and the UAE. And that also actually reflects their overall share of net profits on the right, on the very right, of that chart here. Thank you. Next slide, please. So again, using that scorecard, and you can see here basically the darker the blue, the stronger the score. You have a couple of regions here, a couple of countries, but if you look at the Middle East and Asia, we have probably circled this with yellow here, just to give you some of comparison here. Then the Middle Eastern Islamic banks exhibited a bit of greater scale and profitability compared to their Asian counterparts, while Asian Islamic banks showed really stronger asset quality. So that's coming out on that one. Among the 26 plus markets we are looking at, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Turkey, Pakistan, they really achieved the highest average strength scores in the ranking. Islamic banks in Qatar experienced a bit of a decline in financing and deposits in 2022, along with a rise in gross non-performing financing, in the gross non-performing financing ratio. The banks in Saudi Arabia showcased good capitalization with an average Tier 1 capital ratio and capital adequacy ratio strengthening to 19% and 21% respectively. So these Islamic banks also maintain an average gross NPF ratio of about 1% and a provision coverage ratio of about 230+%. Islamic banks in Kuwait showed superior liquidity compared to their counterparts in Saudi Arabia. So here, the Kuwait Islamic banks are better. The weighted LCR for banks in Kuwait reached about 180%, surpassing the report, the 130+% reported for banks in Saudi Arabia. Moreover, banks in Kuwait also performed well across dimensions such as scale, risk profile, and asset quality. However, some of the Middle Eastern countries, including Egypt, Iran, Oman, and Palestine, received lower scores within the Middle Eastern region. And I think that contributed also to a lower average score for the Middle East compared to Europe. We also found that banks in Turkey demonstrated a stronger profitability and liquidity than banks in Saudi Arabia. Overall, as a final call here, overall on an institutional level, Al Rajhi Bank, it's not shown here because it's by region, but in terms of the individual banks, Al Rajhi Bank remains the strongest Islamic bank globally today, followed by Kuwait Finance House and Qatar Islamic Bank, closely in second and fourth places. So these three really demonstrated in the Islamic banking sector exceptional financial strength in the world of Islamic finance also today. And with that, I'm so coming to our last slide, outlook. I would like to give you a bit of an outlook for 2023. This gives you a sense what we expect from the assessment based on fiscal year 2023 coming up. Then we likely will see a further deterioration in asset quality metrics as interest rates we see will remain elevated for quite a longer period of time than we have expected initially. Interest sensitive households and businesses will face increasing pressure, I think, as loans continue to reprice at higher rates and likely amplify deterioration in the credit quality. Also, we believe that bank profitability has benefited from rising interest rates. The prolonged increase leads to higher deposit costs and affecting also the net interest margin, right? In China, in the face of squeezed net interest margin following interest rate cuts and slow loan growth, Chinese banks, we believe, have reduced loan loss provisions to enhance profits. And continuous supportive policies in China will actually extend the net interest margin pressure in China. Most banks will sustain a robust capital position and ample levels of liquidity in 2023, 2024. Going into that, US banks are building actively their capital buffers in anticipation actually of higher regulatory requirements on that one. And then last, more banks are forced to disclose their liquidity coverage ratio and also their net stable funding ratio figures. So this development, I think, is set to provide probably also more valuable and transparent insights into the bank's liquidity risk profiles and also enhance overall transparency into the market. Last, Islamic banks' alignment with Sharia law principles and focus on sustainable and responsible banking practices make it a sector to watch, we believe. The continued growth and innovation within Islamic banking we have seen in the last years is really signaling also a strong future for this financial segment. So by the way, those strongest bank ranking you can, and those Islamic bank ranking you can access at our Top Insights platform, which is the research arm at Top Global. It's in public domain, and you can compare your bank and your institutions to your peers in your region as well as globally. And with these insights at hand, I will now hand back.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us kick off the Business Achievement Awards, which recognizes benchmarking business achievements across retail banking, transaction finance, technology, and risk. We will start with the Global Excellence in Retail Finance Services Awards. In this category, we have Best Digital Banking Service in Indonesia. Its Octo platform attracts affluent customers. Alongside a blend of digital efficiency and traditional banking reliability, together with exceptional user experience and streamlined operations, the winner of this award is CIMB Niaga. You are recognized as the best digital banking service in Indonesia. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you all so much for being here to share in this occasion. I'm so honored and humbled to accept this award on behalf of the team network and digital banking from Bank CIMB Niaga. I am pleased to have our work recognized in this way by the Asian Bank. Many hours went into this to become best digital banking service in Indonesia, and it means so much for us. This accomplishment is not something that came alone, and there is a work team behind this who also deserve to share in this award. For this, I would like to thank Mrs. Luciana Saleh and her teams. An enormous salute as well to all these years awardees, each of whom have made incredible contribution to the Asian Banker Excellence in Retail Financial Services and Technology Innovation Indonesia Awards 2023. Last but not least, we thank you to the Board of Committee, the Asian Banker, for offering this recognition to CIMB Niaga. We all will continue to work and creating innovative solutions in this retail financial services and technology innovation field. I'm humbled and appreciative. Thank you again and hope to see you again next year.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations. Next, we have the Best Financial Inclusive Initiative in the Philippines. The Winnie Bank uses mobile point-of-sale devices to provide financial services as a last-mile solution. Another initiative combines physical and digital banking services to serve geographically distant, disadvantaged, and conflict areas in the Philippines. The initiative had 48% revenue growth, 42% expansion in merchants, 39% increase in transaction volume, equivalent to $3.9 million, and a 31% surge in transaction value. For its innovative approach and outstanding results, the award for Best Financial Inclusion in the Philippines goes to RCBC ATM Go and Manibala Barayangan Banking. Congratulations, Mr. Lito Villanueva, EVP, Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer, for receiving the award. Sir, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much to the Asian Banker for this prestigious award. And it is truly an honor to be recognized alongside other banks that have accomplished groundbreaking work in propelling digital and financial inclusion. So this award is a win not only for RCBC, but also for the Philippines. And of course, victories such as this remind us of our collective march towards building a better society, promoting shared prosperity. Again, as financial institutions, may we all continue to create and scale solutions that will empower the least empowered and serve the most underserved. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you and congratulations once again. Our next award is for the Best Retail Bank in Qatar. Driven by impressive deposit and revenue growth, together with digital strides that includes a state-of-the-art comprehensive digital banking solution and a customer-centric approach, Qatar Islamic Bank is recognized as the best retail bank in Qatar. Congratulations, sir. I know that you might not want to give a speech, but perhaps let's take a quick photograph. Thank you and congratulations once again. We'll move on to the next award, which is for the Best SME Bank in Mauritius. This winning bank has established multiple SME hubs across the island, ensuring proximity to small business customers. The bank's key financial metrics for the first half of 2022 demonstrate its robust performance. Gross revenue amounted to 90 million Mauritian rupees. Fee income constituted 30% of the total SME revenue. The average net interest margin for loans stood at 4.37%, and return on assets reached 4.45%. For its commitment to the SME sector and strong financial growth, the award for Best SME Bank in Mauritius goes to SBM Bank, Mauritius. Congratulations, sir. We're moving on to the Best SME Bank in Qatar. With its impressive SME market share, large digitally active customer base, and its commitment to sustainable financing with a focus on supporting local economic growth and providing essential financing to startups and small businesses. The best SME in Qatar, the best SME bank in Qatar, is Qatar Islamic Bank. Congratulations again, sir. For the next award, we are moving to the Best SME Bank in South Africa. Through its comprehensive efforts using technological advancements, such as streamlining digital processes for overdrafts, loans, and forex flows, and partnership with energy specialists to provide sustainable investment and financing, the best SME bank in South Africa is Nedbank.
We are really delighted to have received this award for a second year running, and I think the passion that we have for small business, is reflected in this award, and we're very happy, very proud to have received this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations once again, Nedbank. And now we will move on to the Transaction Finance Awards. The Transaction Finance Awards evaluate financial institutions' achievements in cash management, payments, trade and supply chain finance, and foreign exchange. The first award under this category is Best Cash Management and Best Transaction Bank in Hong Kong. This bank emerged as a market leader in merchant payment collection services offered via the real-time fast payment system to provide more versatile payment and collection solutions. Customers can make up to 40 API calls in under a second, with more than 95% of customer transactions done online. for providing standard and tailor-made cash management solutions built on advanced API integration, and for supporting a wide spectrum of business functionalities. Bank of China Hong Kong is recognized as the best transaction bank and best cash management bank in Hong Kong. Congratulations. Next, we have Best Cash Management Bank in Nigeria. This cash management service provider secured major payment and collection mandates in various sectors like oil and gas, ports, and logistics. Its cash management system has helped Nigeria's socio-economic growth by digitalizing payment collections for Lekki Free Trade Port, automating operations through ERP and N4 billing system integration. The bank now handles all the port's collections. For these achievements, the award for Best Cash Management Bank in Nigeria goes to Stanbic IBTC Bank.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what an honor it is to be before you here today. I hope you can sense the virtual energy that courses through this moment. It is with immense pride that I accept the Asian Banker Award for Best Cash Management Bank in Nigeria on behalf of the incredible transaction banking team in Stanbic IBTC. In this digital space, it is not just me standing here. My presence symbolizes a collective celebration of the trust our clients have in us. And it is also recognition of every single member of the transactional banking team here at Stanbic IBTC, who put their heart and souls into delivering exceptional services to our stakeholders. How I wish I could virtually extend a high five to each team member who has made this achievement possible. At Stanbic IBTC, we have always led the change in innovation in transactional banking. Today, our achievement transcends numbers. We share a virtual stage that reflects the profound impact we at Stanbic IBTC are making across the African continent. Our range of services encompasses everything from payments and collections to escrow services, liquidity management, investor services, and trade solutions. Once again, I would like to express our profound appreciation to the Asian Banker for this remarkable recognition. This is more than an award for us. It is a validation that fuels our passion to continue shattering barriers, exploring new horizons, and delivering unparalleled services to our clients and partners. As we stand on the brink of the future, let us raise a virtual toast, not just to this achievement, but to the spirit of innovation that propels us forward. Cheers to the unwavering trust of our clients, the true stars of our journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that wonderful speech, and congratulations once again. Moving on to the Best Trade Finance Bank in Mauritius. The bank's trade finance customers can process the full life cycle of trade finance products offering through its trade management online channel. They can send e-applications and view a snapshot of their outstanding funded and non-funded instruments in real time. Tracking of trade requests and processes enables the bank to have a competitive edge over its peers. With the online system in place, it processes the trade finance requests of its customers within 24 hours, faster than the market average of 2 days. For providing accessible and secure business solutions, the award for the Best Trade Finance Bank in Mauritius goes to Absa Bank Mauritius. Congratulations. Unfortunately, they can't be here today, but we celebrate your success nonetheless. Our next award is for Best Transaction Bank in Africa. This bank optimized the cash management structure for a major ICT customer with real-time group-wide cash visibility, moving to a direct integration environment and onboarding 130 users within 8 weeks. The improved account structure enhanced the customer's operational and investment balances and boosted their account and reporting efficiency. For its collective strength in cash management, working capital, and trade finance across the African continent, the best transaction bank in Africa is Absa. Congratulations once again, but they are unable to be here today, so we celebrate their success nonetheless. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the world's strongest Islamic banks 2023 and Global Strongest Bank Rankings 2023. These rankings employ a detailed and transparent scorecard to assess banks using 6 criteria related to balance sheet performance, scale, balance sheet growth, risk profile, profitability, asset quality, and liquidity, encompassing 14 specific factors. The first award in this category is Strongest Islamic Bank in Brunei and Strongest Bank in Brunei in 2023. As the country's largest Islamic bank, this financial institution improved profitability, asset quality, and liquidity. In 2022, a 17% net profit growth raised its ROE from 12% in 2021 to 14%, surpassing the average of 9% for all banks in Brunei. Meanwhile, the bank maintained a 19% total capital adequacy ratio. It also sustained a high ratio of liquid assets to total deposits and borrowings at 66%, surpassing the 39% average of the world's top 1,000 banks. The strongest bank in Brunei for 2023 is Bank Islam Brunei Darussalam. The bank is also the strongest Islamic bank in Brunei for this year. Congratulations.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. On behalf of BIBD, I'm humbled to accept this prestigious award of Strongest Bank in Brunei by balance sheet for 2023 by the Asian Banker, which coincides with our 30th anniversary. I would like to take an opportunity to say thank you to our board members for their support and also our Sharia advisory body, and to all our partners and our stakeholders for their continuous support to us. And thank you to the ASEAN Banker and to all the employees of BIBD. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now for the strongest bank in the Philippines in 2023. This bank demonstrated outstanding performance in capitalization and liquidity compared to its peers in the Philippines, reporting a liquidity coverage ratio of 245% and a net stable funding ratio of 158%. With a 49% surge in net profit in 2022, the bank improved its ROA from 0.9% in 2021 to 1.2% in 2022. The commitment to operational efficiency is evident in its enhanced CIR. Furthermore, the bank lowered its NPL ratio to 1.9% in 2022, ranking it as the second lowest among its peers in the country. The strongest bank in the Philippines in 2023 is therefore Metro Bank. Congratulations.
Thank you. On behalf of the members of the Metro Bank Board of Directors, our President Fabian D, and the officers and staff of the bank, I am honored to receive the 2023 Strongest Bank in the Philippines Award from the Asian Banker. In this age where form seems to matter over substance, it is refreshing to see an award that highlights the fundamentals of banking: strength, resilience, and the ability to serve customers in good times and in adversity. We're thankful to the Asian Banker for the insight that what is essential is really the basics. At Metro Bank, maintaining our strongest bank status required unwavering resolve as we achieve our company's record financial performance this year with the responsibility that we are custodians of trust of our customers, of our shareholders, and the Filipino people. Our goal, as envisioned by our founder, Dr. George SKT, and nurtured by our current chairman, Arthur T., is to live up to our promise to our stakeholders: you're in good hands. More importantly, we could not have achieved this award if not for the trust of our millions of clients and the solid commitment of more than 14,000 Metro Bankers. Again, thank you for this recognition. Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you very much, sir, and congratulations. Moving on to our strongest bank in Sri Lanka for 2023. Despite the decline in ROA from 1.3% in 2021 to 1% in 2022, due to the historically high impairment provision, this bank still outperformed its peers in Sri Lanka. The bank's strategic investments in technology and process optimization reduced its CIR from 38% in 2021 to 30%. Beyond profitability, it outshone local peers in balance sheet growth, asset quality, and liquidity. Its liquidity coverage ratio and net stable funding ratio rose to 294% and 174% respectively. The strongest bank in Sri Lanka in 2023 is Commercial Bank of Ceylon. Congratulations, sir. Would you like to say a few words, please?
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of Commercial Bank of Ceylon PLC, I take this opportunity to thank officials and the team at the Asian Banker Magazine and TAB for this award. We are delighted and humbly proud to be nominated as the strongest bank in Sri Lanka by your esteemed institution. So as you all may know, Commercial Bank of Ceylon is the benchmark financial institution in Sri Lanka with a history of over 103 years. Commercial Bank demonstrates world-class expertise in the spheres of retail and corporate banking as well as in securitized instruments. The bank offers a wide array of financial products and services ranging from savings to all strata of the society, and also foreign currency products and also loan products, including bank assurance, then Islamic banking and banking for high net worth individuals, and of course, trade finance, which is our forte. Then also we have introduced a multitude of cutting edge, innovative digital banking solutions ranging from online banking to mobile banking along with SMS banking, mobile phone cash top-up facilities and overseas SWIFT money remittance and services through which the commercial bank has revolutionized the banking convenience in the country. Also, we are very innovative, having innovative automated banking centers, self-service touch screens in branches, and also cash deposits and ATMs, which offer utility bill payments facilities in addition to cash withdrawals. So for a financial institution, strength which depicts resilience is by far the most important indicator. And this is even more relevant in the Sri Lankan context today. The TAB Global 1000 ranking is based on an entirely objective assessment that uses multifaceted performance figures to compute financial strength, making it an authoritative benchmark. So I take this opportunity to dedicate this award to the managing director down, the most junior officer in the bank. So thank you very much for all my colleagues. And also I take this opportunity to offer my congratulations to all the award winners and thank the Asian Banker team once again for this wonderful award. Thank you and wish you all a good day and happy holidays.
Thank you, sir, and happy holidays to you as well. Moving on to the next 3 awards, all won by the same institution. The awards are Strongest Bank in Hong Kong, Strongest Bank in Asia Pacific, and the second strongest bank in the world in 2023. The winning bank has excelled in risk profile, asset quality, and liquidity. It showcased a strong capital position, boasting a total CAR of 22% in 2022, positioning it as the second highest among the world's top 10 strongest banks. Proactively managing credit risks, the bank maintained a low NPL ratio of 0.5%, the lowest among the top 10 strongest banks in Asia Pacific. The bank achieved 17% growth in operating income in 2022. CIR improved to 29%, driven by ongoing resource allocation optimization. Its profitability surpassed that of other banks among the top 10 strongest banks in Asia Pacific. The second strongest bank in the world in 2023 is none other than Bank of China, Hong Kong. The bank is also the strongest bank in Hong Kong and Asia Pacific. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words, ma'am?
Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of Bank of China, Hong Kong, I would like to thank the Asian Banker for naming us the strongest bank in Hong Kong and Asia Pacific for 4 successive years. In addition, we are thrilled and honored to become the second strongest bank in the world based on the overall strength score. These accolades recognize our bank's performance in various areas, including capital management, liquidity, risk profile, and asset quality. During the year, our bank has continued to improve financial indicators, steadily enhanced shareholder returns, and promoted high-quality development by capturing opportunities arising from economic normalization in the Chinese mainland and Hong Kong, as well as from the development of the Greater Bay Area and Southeast Asia market, and also from mutual market connectivity and renminbi internationalization. Bank of China Hong Kong has been providing a full range of financial, investment, wealth management service to our customers. We elevate customer experience with new technology and committed to a green and sustainable development path. As the sole clearing bank for renminbi business in Hong Kong, our strong renminbi franchise has made us the first choice for customers in renminbi business. Through close cooperation with our parent bank, Bank of China, we provide first-class cross-border service to multinationals, cross-border customers, central banks, and supranational organizations. Looking ahead, Bank of China Hong Kong will continue to focus on sustainable and high-quality development by strengthening our foundations for future growth, enhancing regional management, optimizing service integration, and bolstering digital empowerment while creating value for our stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, and congratulations. We will now move on to the next category, which is the Wealth and Society Awards 2023. Wealth and Society is a worldwide program that brings together ultra-high net worth individuals and their supporting institutions who believe that wealth has a higher purpose in creating opportunities that create a meaningful and sustainable society as a whole. Under this category, we have Best Private Banking in Malaysia. The winning bank's regional wealth platform enhanced its service capabilities, leading to strong fee income growth and significant increase in assets under management. The bank curated bespoke treasury solutions and foreign exchange margin facilities. For its strategic initiatives, robust financial performance, and strong product offerings, the award for the Best Private Bank in Malaysia goes to OCBC Premier Private Client.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Esteemed guests, I'm truly honored to accept this award on behalf of our dedicated team of OCBC Premier Private Client. This recognition is testament to the relentless commitment by our professionals who strive to deliver service excellence to our valued clients. Thank you to all our clients as well as our colleagues who have actually contributed since we first started 5 years ago. This accolade will definitely ensure that and actually fuel our commitment to drive our platform further in terms of service, integrity, and innovation. Thank you once again.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations to all of our awardees for today. We felt your excitement through the screen, and now we would like to commemorate today's event by taking a group photo with all of you. So please be sure that your camera is on. And for this group photo, I would also like to invite back Mr. Fu Bunping as well as Matthew Welch.
Congratulations to all the winners.
1, 2, 3, yay! Congratulations!
Cheers, everyone.
Woo!
Congratulations and have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Thank you.
For the closing remarks, congratulations once again to everyone.
Congratulations, everyone. And as we conclude today's celebration, let us acknowledge and applaud the extraordinary achievement of our awardees. Your contribution set a standard for the industry, inspiring others to strive for excellence, innovation, and commitment to the greater good.
So congratulations to everyone. Obviously, a huge amount of hard work behind those achievements. And I think we just wish everyone the very best. Congratulations and happy holidays for the end of the year.
Okay, as we come to the close of 2023, we look forward to 2024, and as we move closer to the holiday seasons, we extend a warm season greetings to everyone, and we look forward to another great year in 2024. Congratulations to all our winners, and thank you for your contributions to the evolving world of finance. Together, we are shaping a more resilient, innovative and sustainable future for the industry and for the future of banking and society at large. Congratulations.
Thank you for those final words, gentlemen. And now we have come to the end of the Tab Global 2023 Finance Awards ceremony. Again, congratulations to all of the awardees, and a big thank you to everyone for joining us today, for taking the time out of your super busy schedules to be here to celebrate each other's success. My name is Cheryl Miles, and it has been my pleasure to be your MC for today, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself this afternoon. I look forward to seeing you at the next awards ceremony here at the Asian Banker here in Singapore.